Welcome to the September 1st, 2022 Redistricting Commission. We'll start with roll call.
Commissioners Porter,
Present.
Pederzani,
Present.
Leslie Canty, Nave, Clark,
Present.
Arnett,
Present.
Wagaman,
Here.
Hill,
Here.
and Hopper.
Here.
We have 7 present.
Okay. The next item is the approval of the August 18th minutes. Has everyone had a chance to go over those? Okay, then I am looking for a motion.
Motion to pass the minutes for August 18th.
Yes. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, the minutes are passed. Okay, we move on to presentation of our map proposals. Tom, that will be up to you. I think for the most part, we've talked about A, B, and C in our previous meetings, so I guess it's just a presentation on D and E.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so Plan D was proposed, and it's based off of Plan A with 2 additional changes. So it's a total of 7 changes for Plan D. And then Plan E was another proposal, and there was a total of 45 changes for that one.
Okay. I am going to offer the 2 authors a chance to speak on their plans before we go into the rest of them. So let's go with Plan D. Jessica, do you have anything you want to say about that one?
Yeah, I actually have a lot that I want to say. As I got to hear a lot from the High Crest community, which I really appreciate. And though my heart was in the right place with just wanting to get communities more cohesive, I would be taking out a pretty pivotal member of city council that just isn't what they want. And so I actually won't be voting for my own plan today. I spoke a lot about why I initially wanted this plan in the first place last week. So, and the reason was to try and get High Crest together. But my intentions with this is to listen to the community. And so with that being said, I actually am not going to go against what the community has said that they want. So,
Mary, can she pull Plan D so we don't even have to discuss it any further, since she proposed it?
If you would like to just simply withdraw your plan.
I make a motion to withdraw my own plan. Map
Second.
D.
Okay. If council is in favor of that, please say aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Plan D has been removed from consideration. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to Plan E. Vicki, what would you like to say about this one?
So, and thank you, Jessica, for reaching out to the community, I guess. So, I too have heard a great deal from the community, but I wanted to offer about both map C and E, that these are examples of what is possible moving into the future, related to current population growth trends. It repositions District 9 and 8 along a division of the interstate and kind of repositions those districts to participate in future redistricting a little bit differently, making different kind of precincts contiguous. And it's an example of what can happen when you draw boundaries around communities of interest. But I too believe that both the community as well as the commission are really not in a position to take on this volume of change. So I would like to make a motion to withdraw both map C and E from consideration tonight.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Anyone want to say anything else before we vote?
Yes.
Okay.
Vicki, I appreciate the effort that you accomplished here to bring a wider view of the city as a whole, and that everywhere in this city there are pockets of improvement that need to be made. Okay, what needs to be done is that a partnership with the citizens and the city to address the needs of all the areas around the city, not just in certain areas of the city. So it's about inclusiveness, but it's about the entire city. So I appreciate the effort that you put here before the commission here, and hopefully we'll, between now and the next 10 years, we'll see the difference. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
I'd like to say one more. Sure. Yeah, with what you said, showing possibilities, I'm really proud of us as a commission for doing that. Some of the maps weren't on like one part of the website there for a while, but they were on the interactive ones. So I do appreciate that they were there in one spot, but not in another. And I just really do appreciate that the community has the opportunity to see these were all the different things that we considered and thought about, but, you know, we're going to go off of what the community has spoken out about because that's what our jobs are. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor and I have a second. Those in favor of removing maps C and E from consideration, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, we will remove maps C and E from consideration. We are down to maps A and B. Okay, now at this point, I did forget to mention this. I would like it to be in the record that we received the email communications to all the commissioners, so we have everything that has come in between, I believe, August 19th and today. We have all seen. So that's been taken care of. Okay. So now it is time to discuss, we have 2 maps left. And I am looking for a discussion on what you would like to do. You can move for a map and we can discuss it, take any amendments.
Chair,
Yes,
if I may,
sure.
Laura Pettersani, hi, District 2. I apologize I cannot be there in person tonight, but I did want to offer just another piece of, I guess, input on Plan B.
Okay.
We have heard now from DTI and the Noto District that they are not in favor of Plan B that would shift a section of downtown into the District 2 North Topeka District. Well, I shouldn't say just North Topeka, but into District 2. So I think given those two, different supports as well, I would like to make a motion just to go ahead and hold a vote on accepting Plan A and putting Plan A forward to council for a decision from the commission.
Okay, I'm going to let you hold on to that motion. First, I want to ask if there is any more public comment before we make our decision. So if there's anyone here tonight that would like to speak, you're more than welcome to come up and speak, or anyone that's online. Everybody good? I can't tell, is there anyone raising their hand? Okay, then Laura, I will accept your motion to consider.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't mean to be so delayed. Appreciative of the pace of the meeting tonight. Madam Chair, the only thing I want to say for public record is I have a great level of appreciation
for the research that's been done, the work that's been done,
Oh, yes.
the gathering of feedback from our community, the engagement we've received about all the proposals. I have a level of appreciation for that. I want to be sure that we say on record that we are not a community that is afraid of change, though. I want to make sure that we understand that we hear the feedback, we appreciate the feedback, but the spirit of maintaining what is for fear of what could be, I want to make sure that that's not a pervasive spirit in our community, that our community is not afraid of change, but we've done our research, we've gotten feedback, and we're heeding to that what the community wants and desires is to essentially keep things the way they are. However, I don't want that to, down the road, as someone has already articulated, to be a stumbling block or a hurdle for us, that proposals of change or proposals of difference are seen as something that we shy away from as a community. I just want to say that for the record, to make it clear to future generations and for those over the next 10 years, that's not something that we fear. We welcome change, we're ready for it, but it has to be a shared agreement.
Thank you, Marcus.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Jeff.
So coming into this commission, it's been a great joy to meet you all and to hear from the public. And in my mind, I had several goals, and one of them was that we'd be inclusive and we'd involve the community as much as we could, and we'd be transparent. And I think we've done that, and I feel very comfortable about that. And I appreciate the sense of compromise in the room. And as I went back through the emails and the communications that I've received, it's almost entirely for Plan A. And so it's taken me a few meetings to get there, and I think that's part of the process, so I'm very pleased about that. So I would second the motion for Plan A, and I think we should open it for discussion, but Plan A is going to get my vote.
Okay, we have a motion to accept Plan A. I am going to ask before we get too far, does anyone have any amendments they are considering for Plan A? You do? Okay, I'd like to consider the amendments before we go too far, so
Consider the map.
go ahead and make your amendment.
Okay, well, and I kind of pose this a little bit as a question. I would, if the numbers work, I would like for precinct 9-1 to stay in District 6.
Where is it now?
It's in District 6,
It's, yeah, and it was going to move into 3.
and it was going to move
I
into
see.
3.
So you want to retain Ward 9, Precinct 1 in District 6 and not move it to 3?
Not move it to 3.
Okay.
If District 3 numbers work out, okay.
Last time I checked, if you keep that, District 3 will be too short. That's why we had to move it to District 3.
So, how short is it?
Let me pull it up.
221 people.
Vicky, say it one more time, what you're proposing.
Precinct 9-1, that little indentation
On the east side.
on the, yes, on the east side of District 6, to retain in District 6 as opposed to move into District 3. I might add, I mean, even though this is not our concern and our issue, we have had some comment about precinct boundaries and kind of weird precinct boundaries, and this is, of course, one of them, 2 of them, possibly even 3 of them. There, that if we make the decision to move the 9-1 and the 221 people who live there to District 3, it will prevent the election office from dealing with these oddly shaped precincts in District 6. So I just add that as, and it'll keep the NIA whole in that, in District 6. I don't
Tom?
have an
What's the balance?
alternative to move one in, so I guess that's open.
Yes, so if we keep that precinct in District 6, the numbers for District 3 would be about minus 542, and so that's off by about 200. And then District 6 would be at 412, would be actually a little over.
And what's the cutoff for the tolerance?
It's 352.
Part of the problem with this, we have so many precincts that are large numbers. And that may be something city council has to deal with in the future. John?
I understand, Vicki, what you're trying to do, and but as you can see when you look around the city, how every district is shaped into one another, and this was the results of 12 years ago, and 12 years ago, this is what we were trying to avoid. But as you see, as we grew, and the numbers, changed quite a bit. District 6 is probably the most balanced out, squared district of the whole city, and versus District 7 of all the districts I saw. So it is, and I feel what you're saying, but I don't see how there's any other choice that we have, because I'm looking at the numbers. You said there was a difference of what, 300 you said?
That's the target.
That's the target, is
Yeah.
352.
Right. And
352.
if I'm looking right, I mean, I don't see anything close to getting where we need to be to create that. Okay?
That is a problem, no
yeah.
contiguous precincts that are
Right.
the right
Yeah,
size.
and it's because I did look at that and I'm going, okay, what if we just start switching up? I thought that's why Plan A is the best plan that we have, and that's I mean, I even thought about trying to. I had been in contact with Tom about a proposal, but I soon saw that I just don't think it would work, and I wouldn't have. It would create a lot more issues. So I didn't even put it on the table. I just backed it off real quick. So again, Plan A is the best plan, and I definitely saw what you were talking about, but I just don't see how we can make that work.
Yeah, I guess, my overarching concern is that
Yeah.
some of our concerns for the size and boundaries of precincts, by making the decision that we're about to make,
Yeah.
it ties the hands of anybody, any governing body, to deal with those precinct sizes at least for 10 years.
Jessica?
No city council governing body is going to be able to adjust the precinct sizes. That's not something that they do. It has to be the election office. So either way, and that's something that has to be proposed to them, I suppose, and maybe they do that and maybe they don't. But I don't think that this would actually affect that, because it has nothing to do with the city council. I just want to point that out. I don't want people to think that we would be obstructing anything like that, because I don't think we would. It's not up to the city council to deal with the precinct sizes or boundaries.
Does anyone else have any comments about the amendment, the possible amendment? Laura, do you have any comments? Or are you good? Okay,
I'm good. I just echo what everyone else has said. We understand, but there's just really not a way to make it work that we can see right now. So unfortunately, I think our hands are a little tied in that aspect.
okay. There is an amendment on the floor.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'll withdraw the amendment,
Okay.
so.
Are there any other amendments anyone would like to propose? Seeing none, then any further discussion on map A? Okay, I'm looking for a motion.
I move we do approve map A.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Jeff seconded. Any further comments? Seeing none, let's take a vote. Do we need to do voice vote or?
It's up to you. Yep. Commissioners Porter,
Yes, to pass Plan A.
yep. Pederzani,
Yay.
Nave,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Arnett,
Yes.
Wegman,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
and Hopper.
Yes.
We have 8 yes, motion carries.
So we have adopted Plan A. Okay, I am going to move, ask if there are any recommendations we would like to send with this or any comments we would like to send to the city council.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, John.
I would hope to see, and I hope my colleagues around this table also hope to see that what everybody attempted to do sends a message that this city is a great city, has all the possibilities of being one of the top cities in the nation. And I'll go around, I don't have a problem saying that. I like being number one, okay? We sit in the fork, you know, and as this city continues to revolve and become that city where everybody wants to be in and be at, we've brought the partnerships between the community and business leaders and elected officials have been like we've never seen before. And that's a credit to those leaderships and also a credit to the community being involved, okay? So if we continue to do that, we'll see a big difference 10 years from now when we address this again. And more than likely, it'll be easy. So we do hope that the partnerships continue, which will create better communities around the city, fix the issues that need to be addressed, address the NAs and the NIAs, and continue to be inclusive with all of them. And let's all take pride in our city. Thank you.
Anyone else have any comments for?
I have a question.
Sure.
Will the city council be able to see all the emails and stuff that we got to of what the public said?
Sure. Yep.
That's all.
If they haven't got them already, Brenda will make sure that they get them. Okay, the next item that came up to me was how we handle this going forward. There will be a report that is submitted to city council. That has to be done by the end of the month, so I'm sure they'll have it in plenty of time before that. It will not be on the city council agenda until October or November, because they have to pass this before the end of the year. So one of the options that came up was that somebody would go and speak and not so much speak, but be there to address any questions at their council meeting, probably when it is, the first night when it is brought up. The next week when they actually vote on it, that would have already been well discussed, and that'll probably go quickly. Do you think a report is enough, or do you think one of us should be there to represent us in case there are questions? Or do you see something else as necessary?
Madam Chair.
Sure.
I personally, I'd love to see all of us there. You know, I think it'd be that if they have questions, but all of us being in attendance. That's
Okay,
my 2 cents.
that's fine with me.
I guess I'd recommend a short report, maybe a memo. I don't want to give you too much work to do, but
No, I understand that.
They-
That
they-
makes sense.
they function with paper, and so,
Sure.
maybe just a 2-pager or something. I think it says a lot. This was passed unanimously. We did it in just a few meetings. They don't have to pay us overtime for any extra meetings. And, Madam Chair, I think you should do the presentation because you're the chairperson and you've done a fine job.
I
If
vote
they-
that.
If they need any kind of
I make a
presentation.
motion.
I may not accept that one. Okay. Then that will be the direction we go.
Okay.
The only thing that I would like to, if we have any extra comments that go with the report, since you feel that they're paper-driven, that they would read that.
I think we need something for the record, as John said, something in the archives and
Are
just
there-
that document this.
Are there any comments we'd like to add? Personally, I'm thinking comments along the lines that it was difficult to make some decisions because of precinct size. That if there's any way they can look into a change in the future, because that seems to be a comment that has been coming up a lot.
I would second that for sure.
Okay. Then we'll figure out how to word that.
Sure.
Any other recommendations that you can think of? Go ahead, Jeff.
I just, 20, 30 years ago, I was involved as a staff level helping to do this with the legislature. And I think this process where the city council nominates individuals in the community, I think that's very wise. I think we all have constituencies, and we were able to put the politics, as it were, out of it and to take our time and then get involvement from the community, partnering with the media. And we had very good work from the media office to get word out. I think it's an excellent process. I don't see how it really can be improved. But I think the city council is wise to have a volunteer commission like this, put forth a draft. They are ultimately should choose their own boundaries. I think the fact this is unanimous recommendation speaks volumes for that, but they're all wise people. And so in the end, they can do what they want. But I think this process is excellent, and I hope they continue it.
Anyone have any further comments?
I just want us to ask if we can get an email when for the date that they do decide that they're going to vote on this, just send out an email to all of us so we're aware ahead of time and know.
Or the hearing that we all have come to.
Yes,
That,
because I will go to that.
yeah.
Vicki?
Just a question, but, will they handle this like a usual agenda item?
Yes.
In that it'll
Yes.
be on for discussion and then on for a vote in 1 or 2 weeks after that? It'll be on twice?
Yes. I would assume that it'll be a discussion item, and then usually it is voted upon at the next governing body meeting. And both of those meetings, there can be public comment.
Okay, well, seeing how I don't see any other further work, I do want to say thank you to our attorney for all of her guidance. Thank you to Brenda for all of her many things she has, all of the emails she's forwarded us, all the notes, everything. Tom, thank you for your help with the maps.
Amen.
That's been invaluable. Thank you to the communications staff so they could help us get people out and hear about this. It's not something that's on everybody's radar and and they'll never know that we really did this, but the ones that spoke to us, sent us emails, I appreciate all your feedback, all of us do. So, thank you to everyone that has helped us, and thank you to the city council people who appointed such a wonderful people to work with. I appreciate that also. And if anyone has any further comments, okay, then I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. We are finished.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
It's a wrap.
Yep.